Well, hello friends, and welcome back to the cabin. I've got just a small project that I thought I would do with you all, and that is trying to decorate this little juice shack just a little bit. So what I've got over here is a set of antlers right here, and then I have a small sign that was given to me for my birthday. It says, "Bring back common sense." So I thought I would just kind of like hang that. Let's see, how's this going to be? Like that right there. And what I would do is just kind of hang that up like that. Don't really need the horns to hang anything on, but I thought it might be just a little bit of decoration. So let's see if we can put that up there. Alright, what I'm going to need to do is drill a hole right at that 0 right there. Right about there, I think. Well, I decided not to hang the sign up here after all. I decided to go and get this scythe, which, if you don't know what this is, it was used back in the day in order to cut hay, tall grass, things like that. Anyway, I think it looks a whole lot better up there. Well, so you all know how happy we are with our new wood miser. Just like anything else I was talking about on the last video, I think it was the solar panels, about things breaking down and you have to repair them, right? So this right here, this is one of the brake shoes from the drive wheel. What happened was the little screw, which is an Allen screw on the inside, goes down through there. The little nut came off somewhere along the way, right there. And this was sitting sideways in there. You can see that groove that it cut. It was sitting sideways in there against the other wheel. So I've still got one. Thank goodness they have 2 brake shoes on them, and I've still got one and it's working. But I had no idea these were as tough as they were. But yeah, I think what I'm going to do is, I don't know if I should put a little Loctite on that or not, but once I get the other, and it may not have been really seated on there to start with, real tight. So my son ordered the replacement part for that, and I think he said he ordered another set of brake shoes. I don't know if they come with the little frame that they're mounted to or not, but and you know, that nut may have not been seated to start with, so I want to make sure that they're really tight when I get them back. But it's still working because it's got 2 on there, thank goodness. And no worries. So right back in here is the brake shoe, right? And the little piece of metal that it's bolted to, and then this bolts to this frame right here. So this one was up top here, and it was actually cocked sideways. Back in here is the second part of the wheel, which it's all one wheel. So this belt right here drives the blade, and then there is a V-belt back in here, which this part of the wheel is V-grooved. This is the drive belt that connects and turns the wheel. And what happens, this is part of the clutch that engages, like I said, the drive belt. And this will go up like that, and it will put tension on this and turn the wheel. And this is part of the brake, because when you bring the clutch, when you disengage the clutch, these come back forward because of the spring, and they actually slow your wheel down. Well, some folks might say, well, that is a brand new machine, something like that shouldn't happen. Well, things do happen like that. Things do break, things do wear out, and I don't think it was intentional. It wasn't anybody's fault really. It's just it vibrated loose with use, and it may not have been tightened real tight to start with, but all in all, it came off and had to be repaired, so I ordered the part to fix that. But thank goodness we had 2 of them on there, right? Otherwise it would just freewheel when you disengage it until it comes to a stop. But it's turning, gosh, I don't know how many RPMs that thing's going. I mean, it's wide open once you start through that log. So I think that's one reason why it cuts so well. But yeah, I got the part ordered, and we'll get it on as soon as it gets here. Well, you've seen on the video where we placed this number 6 ground, and I was talking about using number 8 ground up here. Well, the number 6 would not pass through those small holes, so that's the reason I had to use the number 8. And I could have ran the number 8 down to the ground rod without cutting it, but when I make the connection right here, it will be just the same. We've got all of the wires ran down. We just have to connect the panels, and I've got to put those little copper pieces on there so that all the panels are bonded. So I will work on that this week. I just hope my fingers are small enough to get in there with those little bitty screws, but I think I can manage it. But yeah, that's all I've got left to do on these down here. Thank goodness. Well, I got to put weather heads on these pipes down here and then tighten this clamp up. I had left it loose on purpose so that when I did put that on there, then I could just tighten it down, and I wasn't running the screw back and forth in and out. But and then I've got to cut this U-guard off on all these, but that's really all that's left because we did get the wire pulled in there, so there's nothing else left going to be down here to do once that's done. Another thing that I'm thinking about doing is putting a board here with 2 sides on it, just kind of like a channel, like a U. Bring it down far enough just to kind of cover this up because I don't really like the looks of that. That wouldn't be too hard to build a guard for that. I can kind of make it look this color right here. Well, friends, I don't know if you're going to believe this or not, but I just happened to look at the weather. In 2 nights this week, we're going to get down to freezing, actually, and then a couple nights after that, it's only going to be a few degrees above that. I figured I might better take some time out and winterize some of the stuff that I've got out here. This right here is for the sawmill. I'm going to go ahead and change the oil in the generator so that I don't have to do that in December, January, or February. And then I've got some pieces back here that I just picked up. You know, they wanted $16 for a weatherhead. Now that was just a small, like it would go on an 1.5-inch pipe in the electrical section. That's the reason I went with white PVC on all of the runs that I pull the conduit, because it costs less. Anyway, so yeah, I checked on the weatherhead, and to get 2 of those is $32, and I got 2 sets of these right here. I'm just going to go ahead and glue it. That'll turn it over, the water won't run in. I'm going to stuff some of the fiberglass insulation that I've got left over up in there where bugs can't crawl back up in there. But we're going to make our own weatherhead, and I think this will go to the corner of the post, and I might even be able to kind of turn it down a little bit and then come out. But anyway, this cost me $12 as opposed to $32. So, like I said in one of the other videos, or maybe it was in the comments section, it seems like whatever I get, I have to build it in order to save money because they're just so expensive. And then I got 2 of these. This is the little ground clamp to clamp the number 8 to the number 6 down there on the side of the post. So I'll just take y'all along with me and we'll see if we can get the oil change in those little generators. Well, I just cut me off the little piece of a milk jug right there. We will use it to change this oil with. I think I got a pretty good system down here because I take out of that big jug, pour in here exactly what I need, which is 0.6 of a quart. We'll get this filled back up and we'll be good to go for another 3 months. And then we put the top back on it. I've already got the other one draining, and then that will be done for the next little while. Well, we got the oil changed in the generators, but I think I'm going to have to get up here on the roof and tack something up against where the paper meets the little short wall up there so that it doesn't leak when it starts raining. Anyway, friends, thanks so much for stopping by. We certainly do appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you back up here at the cabin again next time.